Yeah.
Yeah, we live now.
I can't check the stream.
You
So
can't?
I can't know because I need to buy a box for my PC. My other phone is broke, so I
I have
can't
it
check it.
already. I have it
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, okay.
Check it.
I can't know
The
because I
stream
need
is
to
good.
buy a box for my PC.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, man.
Yeah, the stream is
Okay,
good.
so also grab 2 Samuel 23 and 20 and Proverbs 30 and 30. Also grab that on deck. Um
Second
Kasawa,
Samuel.
can you grab the Farlex dictionary,
Mhm.
and then you look up the word serpent.
Yep.
Nakash.
Who has Proverbs 30 and 30?
I have Proverbs 30 and 30.
Okay, and then Tamayat, you have 2 Samuel 23 and 20.
23 and 20. I'm gonna take it right now.
Grab it. So brothers coming in right now.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. In the Forex definition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me see.
Yeah, I got it.
I must share it with the brothers real quick. Okay, Shalom. This is GMS Holland, together with GMS Germany, back with another lesson. Before we start off, we want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Basham, double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there that spread it around. Spreading this word is to say it in the truth all across the four corners of the earth. Yeah, you know what it is? I changed it up one time, and I said it different, and now lately I've been, I've been messing it up,
I know.
I
I
changed
did
it
it also.
one time. I was like, I should say it a little bit different today, and then I messed it up, man. I kept
I
messing
know
it up.
that word. I know that word.
Yeah, man. So, hey, this lesson is gonna be the axe of the serpent. Okay, we all know about the story in Genesis, wherein it speaks about the serpent, which is actually a man. Okay, and when you go to Bible study, actually last Saturday there was a woman that came to the camp from Sierra Leone. She said, "Yeah, according to my Bible study that I had back in the days, this and that." But what you learn in Bible study is not that the serpent is actually a man. You don't learn that. Okay. The book of Genesis is very parabolic, man. It's not written straightforward. It's written in code. Okay. But if you understand the scriptures, if you know the word of the Most High, then you're gonna understand how everything fits perfectly together, man. Okay, because like it says in Genesis 3 and 15, it speaks about the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent, which those are the two main characters of the Bible, man. They are the two main characters actually of the whole entire world, which is Jacob and Esau. Okay, it's already being spoken of them in Genesis. You see, because the woman represents Israel, the seed of the woman represents the children of Israel. The serpent represents Esau. Now, with the scriptures, we're going to explain how that all perfectly fits together. And on top of that, Lord willing, if we have the time, because I see, man, my battery also, we need to, go over it a little bit quick because my laptop
Very
battery
so.
that full neither, and left my charger at the office, but I'm gonna try and save the battery. You know the save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The low. What is the energy?
Safe.
The save energy move. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with Let's start off with Genesis chapter 3.
Where should I start? Verse 1?
Yeah, verse 1.
Okay. This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh has made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, as the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Exactly. So this was the account wherein the serpent came and the Moses said, don't go to the tree that is eastward of the Garden of Eden. Don't go there, which trees, according to the scriptures, often represent people. Okay? So this is a group of people that is being referred to. And out of that group of people, you have a serpent, which is a serpent-like man. It's not literally a serpent. It's not a talking serpent, like how Christianity portrays it. Neither is there apple. There is no apple. Okay? The Bible doesn't speak about an apple. The Bible speaks about fruit, an apple.
Apple or apple. Sorry.
Yeah. The Bible speaks about the fruit, to eat the fruit of the tree. Now, before we go on, because we know throughout the scriptures that food always represents, oftentimes, let me put it like that, oftentimes represents knowledge, right? Now I have this one scripture in Job that came to mind. Let me see where it's at. I always think it's around. Bear with me for a moment. It speaks about that your brain. Yeah, this is it. Job chapter 34, verse 2. Job chapter 34, verse 2. Hear my words, O ye wise men, and give ear unto me, ye that have knowledge. For the ear trieth words, as the mouth tasted meat. You see that? So scriptures are oftentimes linked up with food. What you consume, what you eat is the knowledge. Food for thought. Okay? Food for thought is what? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Or it's actually a saying of the world. But that's really the food that we consume. So the serpent had food for us as being Adam and Eve to eat of. Okay, but it was the food of evil, because why Adam and Eve were naked, which represents that they were naive. So they only knew good. If you are naive, like a child that plays football in the streets, when the when the football rolls into the streets, the child is naive of the dangers. A car can come and slam his ass and he's dead. A child is naive to that. So Adam and Eve were naive to the evils of the world and the things that were contrary to the Most High. They didn't know about that. Okay? You wanted to say something, Tazawar?
Yeah, I had a precept about the wisdom that she kills, basically makes the food ready to hand it out, that the people eat it and get the wisdom.
Yeah, bring it
just
up.
it. This is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 1. Wisdom has builded her house. She has hewn her own 7 pillars. She has killed her beasts. She has mingled her wine. She has also furnished her table. You know, and she furnished the table that the people can come and eat from the knowledge. You know, and this is what we spread into these videos in the highways and hedges. But it's just to back up the brother, to really show you that wisdom represents also often food. Like it also says, come as newborn babes and drink the sincere milk of the scriptures, which is the basic knowledge, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, as a newborn babe, the first food you require is milk. You cannot chew on no meat. You cannot chew on no beef. You can't eat no bread. You aren't ready for that. Your stomach is not ready for that. So exactly like the brother is mentioning. So there are some spiritual aspects of the book of Genesis, which are parables, but the world doesn't understand that it's all parabolically speaking, man. The fruit, which represents the knowledge of wickedness, okay, being naked, okay, the serpent. So can you read Genesis 3 and 1 again?
Yep.
And then someone look up. Actually, can you look things up, Tasawa, on the?
Yeah, my PC is right here.
Okay, look up the word subtle in the Hebrew.
Okay. Yeah.
So read Genesis 3 and 1 again, and then look up the word subtle.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh has made.
Okay, so the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field that the Lord has made. Now, in Genesis chapter 1, it speaks about that the Heavenly Father has created all creatures from the sand that is under the sea. Okay, so all creatures were created, which us humans, we are also creatures. Okay, we are also creatures that the Most High has made. Now, this person was one of the most subtle people that were around there, man, and still is today, because the serpent is referring to the spirit of that Esau bears today, man. Esau is bearing this serpent-like spirit today. How are you gonna know that? Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 explains you the characteristics of the serpent.
Yeah.
Just like how Genesis, Genesis chapter 25 explains how that Esau was a cunning hunter. That explains you the characteristics of Esau. He likes his meat raw, okay, with the blood thereof. Those are the characteristics of Esau. Okay, now here in Genesis chapter 3, it already explains the characteristics of the serpent, which is a man, which we're going to go into. So the word subtle. Can you give me the word subtle in the Hebrew?
Yeah, and the word subtle in the Hebrew is I-rawam. I-rawam. Yeah. It says subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty.
Exactly, crafty, which the word crafty goes into being skillful. If a man is crafty, he has crafty woodworks, or crafty metal bending, or crafty archery. That means that he's skilled. Okay, now but crafty and to be sly and subtle goes into deceiving. So what is the serpent? The serpent is skillful to deceive. He's skillful in deceiving, because he straight up lied to Adam and Eve, right? He said, ye shall not surely die. But what was the commandment of the Lord? Now you're gonna die the deaths. Okay, so he deceived Adam and Eve. He thought like, ain't nothing gonna happen. You're just gonna be as powerful as the Most High. Nothing is gonna happen to you. But not necessarily being as powerful as the Most High, but having the same understanding as the angels, which the angels was right there in the garden of Eden, speaking with them. So even the angels said it, that what the serpent said was true. They didn't refer to the saying of the serpent, but they did say this. Can you grab Amat? Can you grab Genesis 3 and 22?
Genesis 3.
Because the serpent, he said, you shall not die, which was a lie. That's subtle, that is skillful to deceive. But then he also said, you're gonna be as God, right? And in a certain sense, that's true, because from that moment on, we knew that there was not only good, there was also evil. That's why, that tree was referred to the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Yep.
Can you read it?
Genesis 3 and 23. Therefore the Lord
22.
Yahweh.
22.
22. Genesis 3 and 22. And the Lord Yahweh said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil, and now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
Yeah, man. So if we eat of the tree of life, that means we have 100% wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Which, if you know, if you use 100% of your brain capacity, you're gonna know how to avoid death, man. That's why when we enter into the kingdom, we're gonna have 100% brain capacity. We're gonna receive the tree of life, which is that 100% knowledge. So we ain't gonna die. That's why the scripture says that we will be immortal, because we know how everything is set up, how everything is created, how all the components and everything, you know, is joined together. We're gonna know all of that, man. Okay, we're gonna know everything. So the angel said, because it really says there, Genesis 3:22, and the Lord Yahweh, his angels said, because it says there, Yahweh Allahayim, okay, the Lord's angels. Allahayim, Allah is power, and Yam makes it plural, which is powers, which is angels. Now, throughout the scriptures, it explains you that the Lord Yahweh Shai was there creating the world with the angels. Okay, so when the angels saw that Adam and Eve went to the serpent, ate of that forbidden fruit, which was philosophies, things that the Most High has not set up, okay, things that were contrary to the Most High, which Esau is still pushing that vibration, things that are contrary to the Most High. The angel said, okay, now man has become like one of us, how to know good and evil. The angels know about the wickedness that the serpent was putting out. Now Adam and Eve know about it too. You see? But the angel referred to that thing that the serpent said. Ye shall be like the powers. Okay? So this is what Esau does also. I spoke about it yesterday, and I believe also after the camp or in the camp, I spoke about that Esau always puts the truth in the midst of lies.
Yeah.
So the truth is there, but because there's so much bullshit around it, you be like, nah, fuck this shit. It even tricks me sometimes. When I read something and the first few sentences is bullshit, I'm like, get out of here. But there is some important information in the midst of it, you know? So if you just dig a little bit deeper, you're going to be like, oh, I see what he's doing. But hey, that's why we also have like not the Farlex Dictionary, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Yep.
We have the Babylon Book 2. We have the 13th Tribe, Esau. What is this other book? Esau is Edom or something?
Yeah.
Esau. Esau, Edom. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This one. There was the red, right? With the red.
Yeah, the red book.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, the red book. I don't know
We have
exactly.
these books, which these books contain information that is useful for us, but it also contains a lot of lies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have this one too.
Edomite.
Yeah.
Is this the one where they are being
The Roman Empire, the Edomite.
Oh, the Roman Empire with the Ark of Titus. Yeah, who is Esau? Yeah, who is Esau Edom? Shalom, exactly.
Okay, shalom.
So he has these books, which in these books are contained a lot of lies, man. The 13th tribe, exactly. A lot of lies, but a lot of truth is in there too, man. The Jewish Encyclopedia shows you that modern day Jewry is from Idumea, man. Yeah. So they really tell you that the Jews that are now in Israel really are descendants of Edom. But throughout the rest of the Jewish Encyclopedia, we'd be like, hey, get this garbage out of here, man. But guess what? The Most High leads us through the Spirit to show us what is the truth. Because the spirit of these devils, the so-called white people, is to put the truth in the midst of lies. And what was the act of these devils the last 2-3 years? Talking about fake news, right? So here it is. Something is the truth, but he already put down the banner fake news. So now he points at real fake news, and you be like, whoa, that's crazy, man. This is some bullshit. This is not even real. But then he points at the truth, and he calls that fake news also to deceive you. And that's the acts of the serpent, man. Because what is his characteristic? He's skillful to deceive. You see,
Crafty.
he's subtle, crafty. He's skillful to deceive. You see. So give me 2 Samuel 23 and 20, because yes, it does say a serpent. Okay, it does say that he was a serpent. Okay, now explain me this then.
This is
2 Samuel 23 and 20.
This is 2 Samuel 23, verse 20. And Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow.
You see that? So this shows you that there were men that were like lions. Okay, that does not mean that they were literally lions, man. Here it explains they were lion-like men. Okay, they had the characteristics of lions upon them. What is the characteristic of a lion? What scripture is that again? I think Proverbs 23, where it says the characteristics of a lion. Huh?
What is a lion?
A lion turns away backs up for nobody.
Okay.
I thought it was 23.
Yeah, I think that's it then. Yeah.
The strongest among beasts. Let me look it up real quick, because it's not. I got it. You have it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Proverbs 30 and 30. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 30.
Oh, that was the unbelievable. That's the one that I already gave you. Crazy. Yashar, can you read it?
Okay. Proverbs 30 and 30. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any.
Yeah, man. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. So what is the characteristic that these men had upon them that was which how you say that, gave them the title of lion-like men, is that they was not afraid, man. They just kept going, and they was very bold and aggressive like a lion, how he devours and stuff like that. So they had the characteristics of this beast, just like how this man that was in the Garden of Eden had the characteristic of a serpent, man, to be subtle, to be snaky type. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a literal serpent that was talking, because if that was the case, where are the talking serpents today? You see? So so that explains you that Genesis chapter 3 is really, and if you can see it, you can see it. If you cannot, then hey, you go ahead and believe that it's a literal serpent, man. You had this this dude. He was once a pastor. I think it was Pastor Dowell or maybe another pastor. He said, "I'm not a pastor no more, man. I don't believe in the Bible no more. You know why? Do you know that the Bible speaks about unicorns? Do you know the Bible speaks about talking serpents, dragons?" And I was looking at this video. I was like, you see, this shows you that you can get the title pastor very easily, man, in Christianity. So here it is. This dude always believed that it was talking about a literal dragon. He always thought it was talking about a literal unicorn or a talking serpent. So he should have never been a pastor in the first place, man. That's why scriptures also speak about the pastors that lead our people astray, man. They don't have no understanding. I remember when I was still living at my mom's house, my mom told her this friend, this girlfriend of my mother came by, and I was busy with the scriptures. And then she told my mother, like, why doesn't he do anything with it? Like, you know, so he can make money with it. And I was like, you see, this is the whole thing of this society. Like, they even use scriptures as a business to make money with it. But that's not the purpose of the scriptures. That's not the purpose of the word of the Most High, to make money with it. You see, but the people of the world always thinking making money. Okay? That's not what the scriptures is for. But these pastors, they use it in that form. Meanwhile, they have no goddamn understanding, man. Okay? If you look up the word serpent in the Farlex dictionary, can you look it up?
I got it here. In the Farlex dictionary, serpent, it says first zoology, a snake. The second point, often serpent in the Bible, the creature that tempted Eve, identified in Christian tradition with Satan. But I think the third point is the point. A subtle, sly, or treacherous person.
You see that? So when you call somebody a serpent, or when somebody is being referred to as a serpent, that doesn't mean that he transformed it to a snake or whatever. No, he has the characteristics. Okay? Because then you might be thinking like, okay, why is a serpent, a literal serpent, why is a serpent deceptive? You have this one snake. His tail, he moves his tail like a worm. So here it is, the mice or the mouse or the rat or the fucking squirrel, I don't give a shit, runs through the forest and he'd be like, hey, I see a worm. And the snake is chilling there. He's moving his tail like his tail is a goddamn worm. And then the mouse comes and he'd be like, yeah, I got my prey, man. I got my worm. And then the snake, chop, he snatches his ass up. This is exactly what Esau does. This is exactly how the serpent in the garden moved, man. Talking all kind of snake stuff, man. Making you believe something that's gonna get you messed up. The serpent that puts his tail out there like a worm wants you to believe that his tail is a worm so he can eat your ass, man. You see? These are the characteristics of a serpent. That's why the spirit of Esau, which was then upon the man that was called the serpent, is upon Esau today, man. He wants you to believe that the Son of God is a so-called white man. He wants you to believe God is a so-called white man. That's how he deceived the whole world, man. That's what happened during the Renaissance, which is the rebirth. The first thing that he did was he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Okay? He wanted to deceive the whole world. That's the first thing he did. He was loosed out of his prison, and that's what he did, man. So he's a very deceptive and treacherous person, man. A person that really wants you to believe something that is not true. So you mess up. Okay? He wants you to mess up. That's why he puts pork in everything, man. Why does Esau put pork in everything? Because he wants you to sin before the Most High. What does Satan want? Satan wants you to sin before the Most High. Look at what he did with Job. He was messing up Job so bad because he wanted Job to curse out the Most High. And then he had won the bet with the Most High. Like, you see, I thought he was a very integral person, right? No. Look at him. Look at him. This is what Satan wants you to do. So what does Satan do? He constantly, puts out demons out there, to play with your mind, to make you think things that you don't want to think about, shit like that, man. Okay? That same spirit is upon Esau today, which is that serpent-like spirit, making you believe something that is not true. Okay? So if you can jump to verse 14.
Huh?
Can I say something, Ak?
The whole
to
thing
add to
was
you?
gone for me. I don't know if it was for the whole stream.
It was only for you, Ak.
Okay.
Say what you want to say, Tamaya.
Yeah, like the brother is saying, like also the agenda what they're pushing, that you can take off your rod hey, in Deuteronomy, it's like, hey, if your nuts are crushed, you cannot enter in the congregation of the Lord, man. So that is Satan for you, man. He wants you to cut off your rod, everything, you know, so you cannot enter in the congregation of the Most High, man. So that is a real serpent trait, man.
Exactly. And it's be honest, it's super delusional, man, to act as if that's a normal thing. Because there was this doctor that said, like, if someone is being brought into a clinic because he wants to cut off his arm, or he wants to how you call that again in English? Hij wil zichzelf verminken.
Scarf himself.
And not really scar himself. He must mutilate.
Yeah.
Mutilate.
Oh,
mutilate means inflict a violent or disfigure, infuri on, inflict serious damage on. So to cut off your penis is inflicting serious damage on yourself, man. Extreme.
Yeah,
so that's mutilation to yourself. If you want to mutilate yourself, meaning cut off your arm or cut off anything or cause serious damage to yourself, you end up in the straitjacket, man. You've been put in a straitjacket, man. Hey, let me see if I can switch this thing to my phone, man, because I see the battery is about to die.
Yeah.
You are being put in a straitjacket because, according to them, you're freaking crazy, man. Yes.
But nowadays it's normal. Eh? Nowadays it's normalized. You can't just do it. It's a normal thing. You just want to change yourself as a person, be a woman. But back in the day,
yeah, man. Hey, I fixed it. Allah yabash man shy. Lucky, man. Because I know the battery about to die, and then it's gonna be bullshit. Because we're still in the middle of the lesson, right? Okay, yeah. Who was talking? Someone was talking.
I was talking because you were speaking about mutilating yourself. Nowadays it's okay, but back in the days we'll put you in a straitjacket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with that, they will put you in a straitjacket. They will put you in a like, you a nutcase house, man, nutcase house. But now they want to push the vibration that is normal, because why? That's that deceit, man. And the person that deceives always knows the right way. How can you tell a lie? Only if you know the truth. You see, so Esau knows the truth. Esau knows the truth. That's why he's able to speak lies. Okay, how does he know the truth? Give me Ezekiel 28 verse 3, and also give me Tazawa, give me the word Neanderthal.
Yep.
And before you go to the word Neanderthal, give me verse 14. Jump to verse 14.
And you wanted
because
Neanderthal, the Neanderthal etymology or Farlex?
Farlex dictionary, yeah, Farlex dictionary. And what else? Yeah, jump to verse 14 of Genesis.
This is Genesis 3 verse 14, and it says, "And the Lord power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life."
Exactly. So the Most High, for the acts of the serpent that he did unto Adam and Eve, the Most High cursed them, cursed that people, those people that were there, which is the tree and which is the serpent. So what does it say? Upon thy belly thou shalt go, cursed art thou above all the cattle of the field, which is still parabolically speaking. Okay, it just means from among all the creatures, from among all the things that are created, you're gonna be the one that goes on your belly, man, like a serpent. Read it again.
Genesis 3:14, and it says, "And the Lord power said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So when we go into history, we Esau always explains about himself that he used to be in the caves, man. His whole title, Caucasian, goes back to cave dweller. Okay? So he always shows you that he used to be a Neanderthal. And when you see the Neanderthals, you don't see so-called black people. You see only white people, man. So-called white people. So he gives you his own history, wherein he speaks of himself of being a Neanderthal. Okay, so then we got to look up the word Neanderthal. What is a Neanderthal?
It says Neanderthal from the Forest Dictionary, a species of extinct hominids, Homo neanderthalensis. It says that lived throughout most of Europe and Western and Central Asia during the late Pleistocene epoch until about 30,000 years ago. It says members of this species had a large skull and stocky build and are associated with middle Paleolithic tools. Yeah, but it says also
in the far left?
Yeah, there's a far left. But the second says a crude, boorish, or slow-witted person.
Exactly, a slow-witted person, a boorish person. So what happened was the serpent, he was wise, he was crafty, he knew what he was doing. But what the Most High did was he changed it up and he turned him into a slow-witted, which your wits is understanding, slow of understanding, and a slow-minded, a slow, what else? A boorish person. So what happened to these type of people? The Most High put a curse upon them, and eventually they became like slow-witted and slow-minded, and already in that time. But throughout the reincarnation, it happened again, because when they came back as Esau, that same spirit was put upon them again, man. Okay, what is being boorish? Look up the word boorish.
Yeah, the etymology, I looked it up. It said uncultured, rustic, so low-bred in habits as to be offensive.
Yeah, man. And the funny thing is, they call themselves, they say civilization started with the Greeks. No, their civilization started with the Greeks, because before that, they were boorish and uncivilized people, man. Grunting. They was talking to each other like that, man.
Yeah.
That is the curse that the Most High has put upon the serpent, which that's what happened to the so-called white man.
Yeah.
These things did not happen to so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. It didn't happen to the Elamites. It didn't happen to the Arabs. No, man.
Yeah.
They had civilizations. That's why Esau is being referred to as the basis of man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is a shame that we today live under these people, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. Yeah, yes, sir.
You can also see it in the Flintstone. You see it back on how they were living in the caves.
Yeah, man.
There's also
that's showing them their own nature, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, living in the caves and having that boorish mentality, man. Job chapter 30 speaks about that. We wouldn't even allow our dogs to get close to them, man, because they are so base. They are viler than the earth. You see, that is what is put upon the serpent. So then you can understand and see, oh, wait a minute. So if someone is like a serpent-like man, who was it then throughout history? It was the so-called white man. It is the so-called white man. Okay. So give me here also it says Neanderthal, uncivilized, unintelligent, typically used of a man. You see? So unintelligent man. But guess what? Give me Daniel 4:17 real quick.
Daniel
Because
4.
yeah, Daniel 4:17. So because we are referring to the so-called white man right now, and people that don't have the biblical understanding, they might think like, okay, the so-called white man is not uncivilized. The so-called white man is not unintelligent. How is it talking about him? He once was, but the Most has raised up his intelligence, man, and he has put him in office, in rulership. Give me Daniel.
Daniel
This
4
is
and
Daniel.
Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the degree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the Holy Ones to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man and giveth it to whomsoever he will and set it up over in the basis of man.
Set it up over it, the basis of men. So the Most High is the one in power. The Most High decides whatever happens. Okay, he can set up over the rulership of the world whomsoever he wants. Okay, so to show us how low we have sunken, he set up Esau over us, man. Which Esau used to be in the bushes, man, braying in the bushes. Give me that in Job chapter 30, real quick.
I got it.
Job chapter
This is
30.
Job.
Yeah.
This is Job chapter 30, verse started for.
No, you don't have to read everything. Go to in the bushes he was braying.
God. This is Job chapter 30, verse 7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, children of base men. They were viler than the earth.
You see that? So the braying, if you go into the word braying, it's talking about the way of communication that they had, the grunting, which really they weren't saying anything. It was just, yeah.
They still do it if they got with soccer play, and then if they go, they still where we are teaching, you hear them.
Yeah.
You know,
It'll be like that. Exactly. Yeah, you're right, man. So that thing is still in there, man. You see the brain, but at that time that was their way of communication. They didn't look at things civilized. They had like females among their camps, and I ain't talking about camp like how we have a camp, but like their little group of people being together, and they would just swing each other around, man. They would swing each other around like an uncivilized group of people, man. Not like, okay, this is my woman, this stays my woman. No, or someone else would just donkey fuck the shit out of it. No problem, man. Okay.
Lord.
And they were like beasts, man. You see, so that is the curse that the Most High has put upon the serpent-like people, which is Esau. Okay, so they became slow-witted person of slow mind. And that was the curse in verse 14. So jump to verse 15, Genesis 3 and 15.
So Genesis 3 and 15. And it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Exactly. So the enmity came between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent, which, like I said, man, the two main characters of the scriptures is Jacob and Esau. Okay, they still at it today, which goes back all the way to this prophecy that the enmity was the word enmity. If you can look it up in the Hebrew, that's a what?
Just give me a second. Enmity. Verse 15. In the Hebrews, Ayaba, or Ayaba. It says enmity, hatred.
Yeah, man, hatred, man. Now, who has the most hatred from the two of them? The so-called white man towards the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indianos, man. Extreme hatred. The scriptures speak about it, man. Ezekiel 35.
And it goes back to the word ayab in the Hebrew, and it says, or ayab, to be hostile to be an enemy to treat as an enemy.
Exactly. And we have been treated as an enemy ever since our forefather died, man, Isaac. Because what did Esau say? When my father is dead, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So ever since that time, he has been on our ass, man. Trying to put the yoke off of his neck, which was the curse that came upon him, that he would be a servant unto his younger brother. Okay, but Isaac said, when thou hast put off the yoke from thy neck, then, you know, you're gonna, what does it say? You're gonna receive the fatness of the earth.
Should I read it? I'm right there.
Yeah, read it.
Genesis 27, and I'll go straight to the point. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
You see that? So the yoke is because the elder shall serve the younger, right? So that already happened in that time. Esau has also always been a servant unto us. Okay, not always like throughout all generations, because there was many times that they bucked up against us, man. We needed passage through the land. They didn't give us during the time of King David, or was it King David? During the time of King David, during the time of Judas Maccabeus, no passage through the land, man. Just teaming up with our enemies rather than teaming up with their own brother, man.
Also, in the time of the Babylonians, they were really the guys that burnt down our stuff, man. You know, like First Ezra. They always was in line with our enemies. Also, when the Assyrians came in, you know, they helped the Assyrians to actually try to starve us, man, in the book of Judah. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. Because the Assyrians didn't know how to fight against us. Then Esau came. He's like, oh, why don't you just starve them to death? Piece of shit. What do you have to do with the war between us and the Assyrians, man? You see? And it was not only Esau, it was also Moab and Ammon and Canaanites. But Esau was the one that came with the subtle idea. That's, again, that subtlety that he comes with, man. You see? So the enmity is the hatred that has been set up throughout generations, man. How he really, really hates us, man. How he really wants to do everything in his power to not allow us to have what we deserve, or to receive what has been given unto us, and not unto him, which is the blessing, man, the promises. Okay, so give me that give me that Ezekiel 28:3.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3.
Yeah, you have Ezekiel 35, but I gave someone 28 first.
Yeah, I have the 35. 5.
Okay, you Camille, jump to 28:3.
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 3, and it reads, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
You see that? So Esau has became wise. The Most High made him wise. Okay, he has granted him understanding, and he became wise through his digging, archaeology, excavation. Okay, wise in wickedness, wise to the evil. Okay, the Most High has allowed him to build up his kingdom and to go from the basis of man upward. Okay, and eventually sit upon our heads, man. That's what verse 15 is gonna go into, man, of Genesis 3. Okay, read that, Genesis 3.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15 again.
Yeah, again.
It says, And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Exactly. He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel, because Esau came up above us, man. Okay, give me Deuteronomy, Tazawa, Deuteronomy 28 and 44.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Exactly. So Esau came up above us, man. Esau bruised our head. He came up above us. We have to go to him for all kinds of things. Okay, he's really over us, set up over us, man. And like I said earlier, man, the Most High showed us that the basis of man, people that we didn't even allow to come near our dogs, people that didn't even speak, people that turned into goddamn Neanderthals, man, are now rulers over us. That's what the Most High did, man. He showed us this. Meanwhile, we were as a nation of kings and priests already in those days, man. Nation of kings, civilization, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, history, art, everything, man. Delicious food, how to take care of the land. We had all these things, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Okay? But then we fell from our state and these people came up over us, man. It was really the punishment of the Most High. That's why the scripture says that Esau's is the Most High's sword. Esau is the rod of the Lord's anger, man. The Most High uses the so-called white man to punish us. Okay? Give me the Ezekiel 28 and 44, yeah?
It was Deuteronomy 28 and 44, whatever.
Oh, Deuteronomy, yeah.
Should
you want to say? No.
I had a precept of what you said that we were above all people and actually the most beautiful people to the laws and commands of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
You see that? And how were we a wise and understanding people? Because we was keeping those ways, and those ways would make our way of living and way of life perfect, man. Healthy. Like it says in Proverbs chapter 4, it is health unto thy bones and unto thy life.
Yep.
You would live a good and healthy life. Perfect crops. What do you think happened when Jacob was by Laban?
Yep.
Yeah, the cattle multiplied. Everything multiplied because the spirit of the Most High was with him. Okay? So go to Ezekiel 35.
Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore,
exactly. This is talking about Esau, because if you jump to verse 1.
Moreover, Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay the cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore,
Exactly. So Esau pulled up on us in the most gruesome ways. When the Most High was about to have mercy, Esau furthered the affliction. They didn't have mercy upon the old nor the young. Okay? They made everything worse, man. So the Most High is like, okay, I see what y'all did. Like it says, Zechariah 2 and 8, is that we are the apple of the Lord's eye. If you touch the apple of the Lord's eye, you're going to have to face the consequences, man, which Esau is going to have to face the consequences. But this goes all the way back to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, that it says that there will be enmity between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent, which is Jacob and Esau. Jacob being the seed of the woman and Esau being the seed of the serpent. That's that hatred, man. They want us in slavery. They want to have us in control. They want us to be exterminated, man.
Yeah. That's right.
You see? You have a precept?
This is what we was talking about, and also Tasawa, about what Edom did. And this is Psalms chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, to the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Yeah, man, and that happened many times, man. During the Greek Empire, they wanted to take over Jerusalem multiple times. Antiochus Epiphanes, Ptolemy, Cassander. Then you had the Roman Caesars. So when they came back as the Roman Empire, you had Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, Domitian, Titus, Vespasian. And guess what? During the time of Vespasian, it really got brought down, man. We really got scattered into the land of Ham due to the harsh slaughter and captivity that they was forcing upon us, man. That was really the end of Jerusalem, man. We didn't have it back ever since. Actually, a little bit during the Byzantine Empire, which the Byzantine Empire was from 325 AD. till the 1400s. We had it back a little bit, but guess what? The thing that happened was that Ishmael came into the land, man. And Ishmael is still there. Ishmael, and then you have Amalek. They came up into the land, which is also prophecy pursuant to Ezekiel chapter 7. That they shall defile the land. We shall leave the land. The land is going to mourn for us, pursuant to Baruch chapter 4. The land is going to mourn for us, man. Grab that real quick.
Ezekiel?
No, Baruch chapter 4, verse 10.
Baruch chapter 4 and 10. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
You see that? So we left the land in captivity, slavery, and also fleeing out of it. And the land mourned for us because we are the real and true inhabitants of that land. Why did the land mourn for us? Because we took care of the land. These heathens ain't taking care of the land. If you look at the land of Israel right now, that's a freaking desert, man.
Yeah.
That's a freaking desert, man. That's the Holy Land. You have, man, the way the land looks right now as the children of Israel doubting, like, really, that's our land? That's our land? The desert? It's a desert right now, man. But guess what? It didn't look like that back in the days, man. It used to be beautiful, man. Full of fruits, full of all. Hey, man, when the scriptures speak about the land that flowed with milk and honey, it's not literally milk flowing through the land, man. It means, man, the land is full of food, man. Crops and fruits. And yeah, man, it's very fruitful. That's why it's still it's still being referred to as the crescent, fertile crescent, man. But guess what? Back in the days, it was nothing like the fertile crescent. It was a fertile area, man. The whole place was packed, man. You see? Go on.
Let no man rejoice over me. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children I'm left desolate, because they departed from the law of Yahweh.
Exactly. So the land is being left desolate because we departed from the law of the Most High Yahweh. You see? And then the devils came in, Amalek, Ishmael came into the land. And as of today, we still not there, man. Okay, so to go back to the acts of the serpent, he's the deceiver. He's this cunning, crafty person that lies and deceives. Okay, which the scriptures speak about that too. Give me Psalms 55 and 20 and Psalms 58 and 3.
Which one first?
Doesn't matter.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Exactly. So that's the spirit of Esau, man, speaking lies. That's the spirit of serpent, speaking lies. As soon as they be born, man, they're lying and deceiving, because that's what is given unto them. Tommy, you still in Ezekiel 28?
Come.
Okay, go to Ezekiel 28, verse, I think it's verse 14.
Verse 14. This is Ezekiel chapter 28. Verse 14. Thou art, yes, the right one. Come on.
Yeah, that's it.
Thou art the anointed cherub that covered, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of Yahweh. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire.
Exactly. So Esau has been the anointed cherub that covered all this time, man. His whole purpose was to cover up the truth with lies, man, from the beginning. You see, that's his purpose. So the thing, what happened was during the 1400s, during the Renaissance, the so-called rebirth of the so-called white man, when he came back into power, the first thing he did was iconoclasm, man, the destruction of the images that was then, because he wanted to wipe out the history, man. The same thing that he did with the Etruscans. The Etruscans are the original Romans. Okay? They are the original Romans, man, that lived dainty and had a lifestyle of pleasure and relaxation on the sofas with the grapes and stuff like that. But they were Japhet. They took over their customs and they buried the history of the Etruscans, even to the point that up till this day, we can't really find nothing about them, man. They have certain lost caves and burial places wherein they are being painted in the caves. But really, Esau doesn't speak about them, man. When he speaks about Romans, when he speaks about Grecians, he speaks about himself, man. That's how they destroyed these people. And they did the same thing with us, man. Talking about he's the Son of God. He's the holy people, the chosen people. They are liars, man. Okay? From birth, from the youth, because he's set up to do this. He's that anointed cherub that covered Job chapter 9, verse 24. And this is all linked to the acts of the serpent. This is all linked with the way that the serpent moved, man. Crafty and skillful to deceive. He deceived Adam and Eve. The curse was being placed upon him. We can check out in history upon whom this curse came back. And we know it, man. The same thing with the curse of Cain. Okay, the mark of Cain, which is leprosy. We can still see it today. Upon whom is this curse? Upon whom is this mark? The so-called white man. So not only is Esau the serpent, Esau is also Cain. You see? And what happens when you slew Cain? You would receive sevenfold, man. You would be in a lot of trouble, man. Now, did you ever see a country go up against America, man, to make war? They don't really do that, man, because they know they're going to get their asses jacked up because they are being placed into power by the so-called white man for a little season. And only we, the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, are going to be able to pluck them out of this rulership by bruising their heel. Like it said, Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, we are going to bruise their heel. And that happened spiritually. The how can I say this? It was already performed as children, as babies, Jacob and Esau, and it's gonna happen physically in the times to come, man. Okay, so read.
Current, this is the book of Job, chapter 9,
yeah,
verse
Job 9,
24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Exactly. So, like I said, Esau is that covering cherub. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He's out there deceiving the whole world, man. Okay, when he was loosed, he had to deceive the world, man. Okay, this is his. This is what is given unto him to rule the earth by the way of the sword and to deceive. Okay, go to Second Ezra chapter 6.
I got it. Start at verse 9.
Yeah, you can start there.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Yeah. Other questions asked or not.
So it says, read that again.
The whole thing, or just the last part?
The last part.
It says, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. So the time period wherein Jacob is going to pull Esau out of this rulership is the hand of man, which is the time period wherein man has to rule. Other nations ruled, and Esau is ruling. So before we pull them out of this rulership, it's a certain period of time that we have to go through, man. That's that little season. Even the little season is a part of it, wherein Esau is ruling, man. That's why here it says, Revelation chapter 20, verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. Okay, which this is referring to 325 AD, which it already started earlier, but the driving out of the so-called white man out of the Roman Empire and the rulership. He laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Like we was referring to up until the Renaissance period, man, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. You see, because the nation that was shut up for 1,000 years was that serpent-like nation, man, that old serpent. You see, he was bound up 1,000 years. So if you go into the history of the so-called white man, there's a big gap in between the Roman Empire and the Renaissance. Why is there a big gap in between? Because they was not living in the civilized world, man. Because that curse that came upon the serpent came back on his ass, man. Which is that he would taste the dust of the ground, man. He had to go through the dust. He was brought low again. They turned into Neanderthals again. And during 700, 800 AD, the Israelites, which refer to themselves as being Moors at that time, they called themselves Moors. They took up these devils, they took up these Edomites, and they cleaned them up and they sold them in slavery, man, as sex slaves. Majority of these females were sold as sex slaves, man. You see? So those things happen, man. And like I said, man, when we look at all these things that done happen and how everything moved the way it moved from the time of Genesis up till now, it's clear to see who the serpent is, man. Then we also have someone grab Romans 16 and 19, but someone also grab Isaiah 27 and 1. Just to get some confusion out of the minds of certain brothers. This is not talking about Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 27 and 1 or 28 and 1.
And you want Romans 16 and 19, right?
Romans 16 and 19, yeah.
Yeah, I got this. This is Romans, the 16 and verse 19. For your obedience is come abroad unto all men. I am glad therefore on your behalf, but yet I would have you wise unto that which is good, and simple concerning evil. Verse 20. And it says, and the power of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly.
You see that? So the power, the Most High is gonna bruise Satan under our feet shortly, man, which is the bruising of the heel. Okay, which is you know, the Most High is gonna grant us the power to take Esau out of this rulership, man. The Most High is gonna give it unto us, and we are not gonna do it by our own power. We're gonna do it by the power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Okay, and give me the last scripture, Isaiah 27 and 1.
And this is Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1. In the day, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai, with his sword and great and strong sword, shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea.
Exactly. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, that crooked old serpent, which is Esau, that we are talking about right now, is going to be slain, man. Okay, because if you look up Leviathan, it says crooked serpent. So Leviathan, yes, Leviathan is referring to that great and powerful Goliath, oh, not Goliath, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla type creature. But also to a serpent, man, which Esau is that serpent. So the Most High is going to punish that serpent for the acts that he did, which is deceive the world, take over the world, put the children of the Most High into captivity, punishing them with sore afflictions and sorrows and pain. You see, and still trying to exterminate us, man. Esau is going to get his judgment for that. Okay? Yeah.
And when you go into the word piercing in Isaiah 27, it goes into fugitive, man. It goes in Hebrew in bara, and it means fugitive, which you can also link back to Cain.
Cain,
you know?
Exactly. You can link it with Cain again because he's that vagabond, that fugitive.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. So yeah, man, y'all, this lesson was edifying. Okay, with that, we're going to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushua, Ba'asham HaKadosh. Dabans to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.